What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your guys. What a cool talk podcast, man. Tonight, this is gonna be a good show, man. As all shows are, man. This is gonna be a great one, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us, man. But tonight, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about this SCORE Act. We're gonna talk about this article from Ross Dellinger. We're gonna talk about just everything that's going on in the landscape of college athletics so far, man. So we're gonna get into it right after this. Y'all know what it is. Bring us in, my guy. Let's go.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
You are now tuned in to Water Cooler Talks, covering everything you love about college football, especially everything going down in the SEC conference. So, if you love college football, you need to lock in. And now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, boy. It's a Friday night. Yes, sir. July 11th, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler. My name is Nick Frazier, one half of the Water Cooler Talk podcast. And my guy, Marcus, he may jump in. He probably won't. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when Marcus jump in and out. What's going on? Hope everything going good, man. But we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here tonight, man. Around the water cooler with us tonight, we got our guy from its SEC season, the fan favorite, Auburn. Ted, how you feeling tonight, man?
Man, feeling pretty good, man. How about you guys?
I'm feeling great.
Good, man. Good.
All
good.
Right. And the other guy you hearing from Auburn Natties TV, DC Wolf. What's up, DC? How you feeling, man?
You know, I'm very happy to be here. What's up?
Man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler as always. And thank y'all, as always, for giving us a little bit of your time tonight as we talk some college sports, man. We talk college sports, SEC talk, Auburn talk. Mm-hmm. You know, everything, man. But before we get into it, follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter at CoolerSpot23. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube. So you know when we post more videos and when we go live around the water cooler, man. We thank y'all so much for continuing to support us, man. Travell is in the chat. He's the only guy that said something in the chat so far. What's up, Travell? He said, let's get it started on a Friday night. He said it's Friday night. He got the fever, the Friday night football fever. Shout out to WSFA. Water Cooler Sports talk on YouTube. Yes, sir. There's everybody that's on tonight. Marcus may jump in. We'll see what happened with that, man. Hope everything good, though. But, yeah, man, we appreciate y'all, man. I don't want to belabor the point any longer, man, because this potentially could be a really good show. Excuse me. I want to get into this conversation about this new era of sport. Man, before I do that, I got my bad. I gotta do it. We gotta go with the first half.
This is the first half.
Right.
You going in and out, bro?
Now I was on mute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so now we good. I forgot about that part. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into this conversation about the SCORE Act. Some legislation that has been actually introduced in Congress, as a matter of fact. It's Me is in this thing. What's up, It's Me? We doing all right, man. Y'all smelling smoke? What you talking about? Smelling smoke?
It's always cut. It's me, man. Shout out to It's Me, man.
You don't know what It's Me talking about. Like it is what it is. But shout out to It's Me for coming in, right?
For sure, man.
This legislation that has come through, that I say this, is supposed to help college sports. I read some of the legislation and I don't think it helps that much, but you know, to each his own, so everybody has their own interpretation. The SCORE Act, it's the Student Compensation and Opportunity Through Rights and Endorsement Act. So if you take the first letter of each word, it's called SCORE. It's actually a bipartisan legislation through Congress, which is something that you don't really see a lot of in Congress anymore, bipartisanship. But this one got bipartisanship. It was actually one of the co-sponsors of this bill is Shamari Figures, representative from the state of Alabama, District 2. Is one of the sponsors of this bill. And basically, what the bill does, I'll read to you what it does. I'll read to you what the bill does, and then I just basically tell you what it is. So the bill is federal NIL rights, guarantees colleges, athletes the fundamental right to profit from their name, image, and likeness, uniform national standards, preempts the patchworks for more than 30 different state NIL regimes. It creates an agent database, basically. So there will be regulations for agents now. With this, scholarship and health guard. So basically, it mandates schools to provide medical coverage even after graduation and protect scholarships from being cut from athletes. The antitrust law is still enforced here. Gender equity and I don't even know why it says that, because that's not even part of it. But the most important part about this is it is no employee status for college athletes. My take on this whole bill, and I'm gonna get my takes on. I'm just gonna throw mine out there, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it as well. My take on this whole bill is that it is just very ceremonial. In my personal opinion, I think it kind of just, I think it literally just, the word is codified. What the House versus the NCAA settlement is. This bill doesn't necessarily expand anything for athletes. It actually kind of protects the NCAA, which is interesting, and the institutions a little bit more legally than anything else. But I'm gonna get y'all thoughts on that. What y'all think on it so far? Have y'all had a chance to read through it or do some research on it?
Yeah, I've read it.
All right, I read through it.
Well, what I think, man, I think it does a good job of trying to expand the protection of the college athlete more. It would be great because what they're trying to do is like what the NFL is doing is after these guys graduate, they still have health care for so many years to take care of them for injury and stuff after they leave college. So I think that's a good thing for the athlete to have that care for that at least 3 years after college in case you have, things going on that you had during college, man. And then you graduate and they just want to cut you loose and you're off of the healthcare. So I think that's great, man. Other than that, I don't see much else that's, a plus. No different than what we're going through. I think it's going to open the door for more legislation. Oh, the other thing is JoJo and Poo Poo can't be your agent no more, maybe, depending on what rules they pass for agents. Nick, who's, you might be an agent. So putting a restriction on agents, that's what I want to see the most. What are the restrictions on agents? Because if they say now you have to have a degree and be a licensed agent and registered and everything like that, that's going to change the whole ball game. If you have to, be a registered agent. So
interesting. I'll tell you this. I will give you this on the healthcare part. That I say this from experience. That is just fluff language. Because I give you this for the simple reason, because as an athlete, when you go into as a collegiate athlete, I tell you this, when you go in, and especially for walk-ons, if you're going in to try out as a walk-on,
okay,
the first thing they ask you about is your own health insurance. They ask you, are you on your own? Are you on your parents' health insurance?
Right.
And you give them here's Blue Cross Blue Shield is what a lot of people use.
Sure.
You give them that. And then basically what it kind of does is it's kind of like the buffer between whatever your insurance doesn't cover if you get injured. So basically you still is really your own insurance or your parents' insurance that you're using if you get injured, but there's a buffer between what's not covered and what they will cover. So still a small amount that they will cover. It's not like they getting blanket healthcare from the school or nothing like that, because if they were, the no employment status wouldn't be a big issue in that situation. So I mean, that's just from personal experience for myself. But go ahead.
Okay, well, while you're right there, I just want to ask the question.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question about that too.
Yes. So it's like if you're like, for a full scholarship athlete, man. So if I break my leg, I'm gonna see the team doctor, and once once and as long as I'm on the team, I'm gonna be in team rehab. I'm gonna be in team care. I'm gonna be in their rehabilitation system. But when I graduate, I'm not at the facility in a rehab program for whatever injury I might have. So that's the kind of the question I'm like, seems like when you have an injury, and it may just seem that way, that when you have an injury, like if you're a full scholarship athlete, then from your injury to rehab, you're under the care of Dr. Andrews for all of that time.
Yeah, that's true, but it's being paid from your insurance.
How?
Yeah. I mean, ask any ask anyone.
I don't know. I'm just
you
blowing my mind now. But
yeah,
that's not outside of the realm of how like insurance works, right? Like that's how kind of like you
frozen.
Am I?
Yeah, but we can hear you. We can hear you, but you're frozen.
Okay. I think I figured out the problem, man. I forgot.
It's all right. It's all right.
To charge my camera up, so
it's cool. We can still hear you. That's not a problem. I'll just let you know you're frozen.
Now, I don't have to look at me frozen.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's not outside the realm of how like insurance works. That's not surprising that they would ask you for your own insurance and then supplement that insurance with their coverage, because it's not there. If the school provide healthcare for kids, then they have to pay. It would be astronomically expensive.
Yep.
Like it would be an expense that would be super crazy, because we're not just talking about on the field. We talk about, you have to have your wrist get broke in the dorm, horse playing around. You know what I mean? And now the team is responsible for that. They can't do that. So that's why they gonna take your insurance first and then supplement it with whatever else is left.
Yep.
So y'all think
Medicare works.
So y'all think that, and I'm not speaking to like if you have an accident off campus, if you trip up on a banana peel like in the cartoons. I'm saying like if you I'm talking about a football injury.
Yeah.
For an injury you sustain in football.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me that an injury you sustain in football goes to your personal health insurance?
Yeah.
Like if I'm in a game and break my arm, when they take me down to East Alabama, it's going on my parents. The team I'm not going, and Dr. Andrews and them not like fixing me, or that's interesting. I don't know that.
That has nothing to do with the school though.
How I know that is when I tried to walk on in college. The first thing they asked me when we came in, and they said this is blanket for everybody, scholarship athletes, everybody. They said the first thing that they wanted was to make sure that you was insured, that you was on your parents' insurance.
Okay. And
I said, oh, really? And the question I asked was like, y'all don't have an insurance policy? And the first thing that they told me was, no, because you're not an employee. I was like, oh wow. And then that's why I know and I said, okay, all right. I said, well, yeah, I'm on my mom's insurance. I have my mom's insurance. She was like, all right, cool, you good then. And then when I told them, I basically told them, Blue Cross Blue Shield, it was like, oh, you straight. You the state of Alabama. And then it was like, whatever's not covered, then our supplemental plan will take care of that if if anything happened. And that's how I learned that. And then from there I researched it. I was like, oh wow, that's the reason why you see a lot of that's the reason why they fight so hard for this not having employee status, because if they are, they have to offer benefits. And that's just something that they don't do. But go ahead, Ted. My bad. I just had to get that off.
No, I appreciate it.
I'm just saying that that's kind of how the insurance works. It doesn't have as much to do with the school as it does with the insurance, with the people insuring them. Like insurance company's job is to find ways to not pay you.
Very true.
Literally what their job is to do. And one of the best ways to find a way to not pay you is make you use your own insurance. We can split the cost, whoever you got and us. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of how insurance works. If they didn't work that way, they might not be profitable.
Very true.
Might not be profitable if they didn't work that way. But as far as the SCORE Act, man, I think it's just more the same. As far as what I read through is, Man, if you agree with the House settlement, if that's how you think college football should be ran, then you agree with this Score Act, and you see it as uh, a supplement. In to a degree, I agree with both of them. To be honest with you, I do. I don't know about the implementation of them, but the premise of this act and the premise of the House settlement, I agree with, because this is what we've been asking for in college sports for a very long time.
Okay.
We wanted to first we wanted to pay the players. First we didn't want to pay the players. Then we wanted to pay the players. Then we started paying the players. Then it was like, oh well, we're paying the players too much and it's ruining college football and it's pay for play. Then they say, okay, well, let's put some rules in place to get rid of pay for play and the whole NIL thing. And then now we like, oh, that's not fair. We can't recruit no more. So it's like, at this point in college football, I would just prefer if they just come up with something. Don't even ask the fans. But just come up, do like the NFL. Do not take the pulse of the fans. Don't ask the administration. Don't even ask the kid. Just come up with a product that you think is going to be the best product on Saturdays and it's going to be right for everybody, and put that out and give me 5 years consistent of that. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
Because right now, I can tell by reading through this Score Act that somebody is listening to podcasts like this. And somebody is on Twitter looking in the comment section. Because these are the things that, students have been complaining about, the fans have been complaining about. And it just goes to show, man, nobody really knows what is best in this situation for real.
When I like I said, when I read through it, the first thing that I thought about when I read through it, I was like, I thought it wasn't adding anything to the conversation. The Score Act was. It wasn't. It literally was just basically federalizing what the House v. NCAA settlement was or is. I'll put it like that. I think the only thing of significance that I don't remember seeing in the House settlement was the agent regulation part. I don't think I remember seeing that in the House settlement part. But literally, that's the only thing that I saw that basically was like, okay, that may be a little expansion, but the thing that I got from it was that the Score Act actually kind of gave a little bit more, backing to, the NCAA, College Sports Commission, whoever you want to say is going to be in charge of it, because the one thing that it will not allow players to do is collectively bargain. And I know that, we've talked about this ad nauseum on the show about, having some type of collective bargaining in place to where it would benefit both player and, institutions. But by them basically saying that it will preserve the NCAA's definition of amateurism, that's basically them saying that we're not going to give you an employee status and you can't sue us in the future if anything were to happen. And things stuff like that. So I mean, it's kind of almost like the NCAA still got a grip on college football a little bit, because if you ask anybody for the past 25, 30 years, what's been the NCAA's biggest thing when it comes to sports and not playing guys, is the whole fact of them just saying that these are amateur guys. That's really what it is. I mean, it's almost like, all right, yeah, we'll give you the what you've been, protesting for. You've been protesting to get paid. Okay, we'll give you that, but we're not gonna give you this on the back end to where you are considered employees, even though you're doing employee stuff during the week, or you're doing employee X type stuff for the school. I mean, you're probably more than some professors at some school, as an athlete. People know you. They associate you first with a university before they can associate, an econ professor from the College of Business or something like that. So I mean, it's an interesting situation that we're looking at when it comes to this. So I mean, I don't I'm not so. I just feel like this. I just feel like this legislation is just something just for them to tout and say that we did this and now it is what it is. Y'all continue to go, and it's just gonna be even more. I don't want to say even more confusion, but it probably will be more confusion moving forward when it comes to it. Y'all thoughts on that?
I look at it like this, man, and I told this to Tight. Shout out to Tight at Tight Sports Alabama Megacast. It's different when you're arguing this NIL stuff, man, and the NCAA is making their NCAA rules than when it goes to the House, man, passes through the Senate, and the president signs off on it. When it becomes a law, man, that's really an uphill battle, man, because literally to change it, you're going to have an act of Congress. You see what I'm saying? So when you get the government involved and this whole thing, whatever the framework is, whatever they're trying to pass, if that thing goes through the Senate and the president signs off and it becomes a law, man, you in a different stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? Think about how hard if all of the NIL go, and we're just being a hypothetical conversation. If all the NIL stuff we got going on, NIL go, all those things, if they pass through the Congress and the president signs off on it and it becomes a federal law, man, good luck fighting it. Good luck taking somebody to court you're gonna have to go all the way to the Supreme Court and change the law now. You know what I'm saying? If you want to argue something with NIL. So that we had that conversation, man. And it's on a federal level now, and if all of these things start getting on a federal level now, we pretty serious, man. And if they do see whatever they cement, it's going to be interesting. So that's my take on it going through, the Senate as opposed to going through a court. You know what I'm saying?
My rebuttal to that is even though you're correct, it does have to go through Congress, it has to go through the House. But when it goes to the House, the Senate can amend it and change it to something else, and then it will have to go back to the House, and then the House have to vote on the amendments that the Senate has, and agree to what the Senate did. And if they do not, then it has to go back to the Senate, and they have to agree. So basically, they have to send the exact same bill to the president, and then the president still can sign it. If he doesn't sign it within, I think 10 days, it's a pocket veto. It becomes law anyway. So yeah, to your point, it has to be a unanimous type situation when it comes to that looking. When it comes to the bill actually being the same language across both chambers of Congress. But to the point about it becoming law, we mentioned this on the shows earlier this week when it came to about this 10th Amendment situation about the Commandeering Act of what can a federal law supersede what a state has said, because the Constitution basically says if it's not explicitly stated in the Constitution, those rights revert back to the state. Is what it says. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why when you see a lot of laws, enough laws, I'm not gonna say a lot, but when you see enough laws that are passed in Congress, if it doesn't explicitly state it in the Constitution, then that's when you start hearing these 10th Amendment type situations. But a way that you can get past that is what's called something called conditional funding. Something that's called conditional funding. So basically, what Congress can do is Congress can basically say, all right, you can this is the law we passed. This is the law we passed, but it is conditional to you getting this money or these grants for education in your state. Because if Congress does just say, all right, we're passing this law and you have to do this, then a lot of states are going to use that 10th Amendment to the Constitution for the simple fact because you kind of are commandeering what our laws are. Because there are already NIL statutes in certain states now that are in place and that are state laws. So passing this law, if you do it on the conditional route, then in that case, it's not as if you're commandeering a law from a state. The federal government's not commandeering a law from the state. So in that case, so I understand what you're saying there, but it's a possibility that the way that this law is written and the way that it's passed, we could still see we could still see court cases from states like Tennessee, states like Texas, states like Florida, questioning the validity of the law when it comes to the 10th Amendment and things stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see right there, man. Travell come in the chat. Travell said, finally Nick see the power. No, that is not what I said. That is not what I said. I said this is not what I said, Travell. This is what I said. When it comes to the concept of amateurism, the Congress has backed the NCAA on that, basically saying that this sport is not professional. So yes, you can profit off of it, but the other part to it that actually make you employees to this to give you the benefits of being an employee, we're not going to give that to you. We're just going to let you be able to just make money off your name, image, and likeness. But in the other realm of it, when it comes to the actual implementation, when it comes to the actual running of college football, and when it comes to the actual rules that are being made, the NCAA has no teeth. Like they have no teeth. They don't run. They have no part in the postseason. Right now, you see what Greg Sankey and the SEC and the Big Ten are doing, basically telling them, "Look, we don't care what you about to say. Ain't nothing you can do to us, nothing like that." So yeah, it's a two-edged sword. Yeah, the Congress is basically saying in one hand, we agree with the NCAA that amateurism, that this should still be considered an amateur sport. But on the other end, they ain't really did nothing on the back end to basically say that the NCAA still got some type of ruling power when it comes to all of the other stuff that has something to do with it. I did not say the NCAA has power. That did not come out my mouth. I will tell you what you got.
Yeah, man. So, are we just gonna call the NCAA the College Football Commission from now on? We might as well just get rid of them. And
you saying get rid of? Just change the name, change the entity
name to it. I mean, because if you do that, then,
what is the purpose of it right now?
If you do that, then yes, you can basically say the NCAA has power again because they have an enforcement arm. You can basically say that because I think the clearinghouse is under the College Football Commission, if I'm not mistaken, or
yes.
NIL Go.
Yeah. NIL Go, yes.
Yeah. So if you do that, just change it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically you can say that, but it's still. But I don't want people to get confused by the fact of saying, "Oh, the NCAA just changed to the College Sports." No, it's two separate entities. The NCAA is still the NCAA. The College Sports Commission is a brand new entity that was created underneath the House settlement rules, and we just basically saying the powers that the NCAA should have had is now attributed to
somebody else.
Yes,
and the NCAA, man, if you look at it, yeah, I think when you speak of college football, they have no power when it comes to college football because you don't control the season, postseason. Then on top of that, now you don't even have the arm where you had the oversight. You see what I'm saying? Now someone else is doing that. So maybe with like basketball and the other non-revenue sports, man, you might have some say in that because you control the postseason and things like that. But college football, man, is like really day by day slipping out of their hands as far as any oversight or control.
It has slipped. I don't think they have any oversight. I don't think they can punish an athlete for anything.
Right.
Like I'm just trying to think of like what would the NCAA come in and enforce, or what do they see after right now? Because they're not in control of the money, right?
Nope.
You got a House settlement that's come in and said, hey, it's part of that revenue that y'all making, that y'all income y'all making. You got to share that with them kids, right? So they don't control the money. They don't control the competition aspect, which is a major deal. Which honestly, I think that if we want to say anything if I were to say anything that I think the NCAA should have more control of it, I think it should be the competition aspect.
Okay.
I would feel better with the NCAA controlling that versus ESPN and what's happening with the college football playoff.
Because
I think the NCAA.
Do you think?
I think the NCAA would make it fair.
I was just about to ask a question. Do you think it would mirror what basketball is doing in the tournament? Because now, to Travell's point,
I don't know.
To Travell's point, the NCAA still has control over the basketball tournament, over March Madness.
Yeah.
The best
They have
product they have.
control over that. Now, when it comes to bowl season, when it comes to all these bowls that we see, when it comes to the college football playoff and things stuff like that, it's in even conference championship games. The NCAA has no type of leverage in any of those in anything in college football.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, college basketball is NCAA tournament is the best product they have. In fact, I would go on to say that the NCAA tournament, neck and neck with the NBA, is the best postseason product.
Okay.
That you can get, because the NBA playoffs are amazing. 7
Better
games.
than the NFL?
I gotta go NFL, boy.
I like the NFL. I just like football, but I'm talking about just from a pure product standpoint. Game 7 is the 2 most famous, best words in sports, right? It came from the NBA. And that NCAA tournament is amazing as well, and it's interactive. It's the most interactive postseason that you can get into. That product right there, I'm not sure if they would mirror that, but I'm just saying, like, they look out for the competitive aspect, and they are at least trying, even with evidence with that tournament, of giving like the mid majors and smaller schools an opportunity to win championships and compete for championships. What ESPN is doing is trying to give the conference that they have a media rights deal with the most opportunities to win a championship. That being the SEC. And I can't blame them, because I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be doing the same thing. And also ESPN is also, one of the reasons that we're going here, because if you have a conference, you need for that conference to be balanced top to bottom. So yeah, we need to spread this money out. But I just think that, the NCAA doesn't have, like you said, doesn't have any teeth. This act right here is just a supplemental bill for the House passing. And like I said, if you agree with that, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't. I think it's what we asked for. I just don't think that we thought it would look like this. And I thought, I would have loved to see them roll this out better. I think that's the part about it that most people are, in the coaches, are just confused about. It's like, all of a sudden, boom, we got these rules and regulations in place, and nobody's told us how to navigate it. So it's like, can you walk us down this path first before you just penalize us? Which I think is going to happen. I think ultimately the teams that ignored these rules aren't going to get penalized as harshly as the rules say, because they just can't. Like I said, in America, we grade on a curve. If you take a test in a class in college, and one person's passed that test and the rest of the class fails, the teacher's just not going to fail 34 other kids.
Very true.
She's going grade on the curve.
Yep, you're gonna boost that grade up every
single time, because she does not want. Yeah, she does not want to go to her department head and say, "I had these kids for a whole semester and I could only pass one of them."
Shout out to Must. Shout out to Get Musty. What up, Get Musty?
Get Musty.
All right, man. We're gonna take a break right here, man. We're gonna hit the halftime. When we come back, man, we're gonna get on this memo that was drafted to college institutions and ADs, letting us know that now collectors aren't what we thought they were. But hey, we're gonna talk about it when we come back from this halftime break. Let's go.
Get on out your seats. It's halftime.
Do you want to feel like a star? Then go to Hollywood Media and you'll be shining. From sports interviews, athletic highlight tapes, athletic photography, Hollywood Media will make you the star of all stars. Feel like a star on the most important days of your life. From college graduation to saying I do to your forever person. Let Hollywood Media make your event star-studded. Subscribe and follow on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. And follow on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Hollywood. Shout out to our guy DJ, man. Day one support of the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. As always, man. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. And of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. Shout out to our guy DJ, always being there, always being that guy, man. Appreciate you so much, man, for rocking with us around the water cooler. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to head to the second half. Let's go.
You're now entering the second half.
All right, man. We in the second half, man. We appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us, man. And Get Musty said, water cooler lure. Why is DC a wolf? I think it has to do with Deborah Cannon Wolf. I don't know. Is that true, DC?
No, my daddy was. My daddy called my daddy Wolf, man.
Gotcha. Let's see. Travell said the NCAA is like the mafia. The only way. Wait a minute. Haven't we heard this before? I'm gonna read it again though. The NCAA is like the mafia. The only way a mafia guy goes over the head of the mafia is when they go to the federal government and tell just like the college football is doing. Okay, all right then. I guess, man. Hollywood, shout out to Get Musty, man. Shout out to our guy Hollywood. He said they don't like the rules set by the NCAA and they tell on them like a mafia rat. So you basically saying they don't have the code of omerta is what you're trying to say. They don't have the code of omerta is what you're trying to say. I think that's what you're trying to say. Okay, all right then. And shout out to Get Musty saying I guess the code of omerta. All right then.
It's funny.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's like not the first time we've heard Travell say that. Is that no? That's not the first time we heard.
Is the mafia analogy?
Huh? Yeah.
You say you mean the mafia analogy?
Yeah. I don't know. I was going to say something, but the algorithm says it all. Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know what is me talking about. But shout out to
I don't know where we're going with this.
I don't know where we're going with that. It's me, but okay.
It's me. It's brilliant, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's me. What does that mean?
He's thinking on a whole number.
Right.
That's what he's thinking on. All right, man. So let's get into this collectives, man. So we had a show on Wednesday talking about collectives, and this memo came out actually yesterday. Yesterday was the 10th. Memo came out and it went to athletic directors at Division I institutions. And I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I'm gonna read the second paragraph because I'm gonna read the first paragraph. Well, I'm gonna read the first paragraph, and then the last sentence of the second paragraph of the second part of the memo, because it basically kind of told us what NIL collectives are and what they should be. So I'm just reading. It says value business purpose. It said in most of the deals that cannot be cleared as submitted, the valid business purpose requirement of the settlement as set forth in NCAA Rule 22.1.3 has not been satisfied. This is what they're talking about when they're saying a bunch of the deals have been backlogged and you're waiting on a lot of guys to understand what these deals are.
Mm-hmm.
He said an entity with a business purpose of providing payments or benefits to student athletes or institutions rather than providing goods or services to the general public for profit does not satisfy the valid business purpose requirement, which is Rule 22.1.3. The requirement is not met if the particular deal with the student athlete purports to provide goods or services. Purports means fails to provide goods or services to the general public. For example, an NIL collective that has a business purpose to pay student athletes associated with a particular school or schools does not satisfy Rule 22.1.3 when it reaches a deal with the student athlete to make an appearance on behalf of the collective at an event, even if that event is open to the general public and the collective charges an admission fee. In this example, the NIL collective's purpose is to raise money at the event to pay the student athlete and potentially fund deals with other student athletes at that school, which are not goods or services available to the general public for profit. The same collectives deals with a student athlete to promote the collective sale of merchandise in the public would not satisfy the valid business purpose requirement for the same reason. The collective whole purpose in selling merchandise is to raise money to pay that student athlete and potentially other student athletes at a particular school or schools, which is not a valid business purpose under NCAA Rule 22.1.3. Last line, last sentence of the second paragraph. It says, in other words, NIL collectives may act as marketing agencies that match student athletes with businesses that have a valid business purpose and seek to use the students' NIL to promote their businesses. So I'm gonna ask y'all this question right here. Is Hugh Freeze and John Cohen correct based on what you just heard?
Yes, they are vindicated.
Are they though?
Yes, they are. They are vindicated because if you look back at it, what they were saying in the beginning is, dude, what people are offering is fake money, and you can't count.
Is it fake money though?
Yeah, they said people.
I don't know if it's fake money.
People are offering. What they're saying is, see, think about it this way: if that's not a real business, and they said 70% of the deals that went through last year wouldn't go through, it's like what Hugh Freeze them saying is, at this point in time, and we know you can have lawsuits. We know that. We know those are probably coming. But my thing is, if you look at right now, that money that the collective gave out last year can't be counted. You see what I'm saying? Because you like, okay, 70% of the deals that went through last year would be rejected. And then even now, I put in the chat we're in, man, they have processed like over 400 deals, and they're saying like right now at this point, basically 1 in 4 are being kicked out. So it's like it would be smart to say, man, we can't really count this money right now. You know, we might have it, we may or may not have it, but we can't guarantee a student that you're going to get this money because we don't really know if we have it or it's going to move the way it's been moving in the past. So I think they're
I was just saying, shout out to Robert Smith.
Yeah, I think they're vindicated in the way they are moving, in my opinion.
Okay. So in the way that they're doing it, you think they vindicated?
Yes, in the stance that they take on let's just deal hard with the money we have. Let's put out money. Let's put out these offers to these kids with the money we know we have. See, what other schools are counting is money they might have. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can't with the NILs, with the collectives, man. All of that money in the collective, all of that stuff is just a maybe. Because even though you might have 20 million sitting in the collective, it has to go through as some type of deal. And if the deal is like not from a real business entity, it's probably gonna get rejected. Or you're gonna have it as like reduce the amount you're giving substantially. You can't go give a kid $1 million just for coming signing autographs anymore. You can't. That stuff not gonna work no more.
I ask you this question then. What is if that's the question, you prepare that's being proposed by that memo, if that's the question that's being proposed by that memo, and the question that you just said that it has to be a real business entity, what makes an NIL collective not a real business?
Well, I'm just saying, I don't say it's not a real business. Now, when we
hold that thought.
No, that's good.
Hold that thought because according to that memo, and I'm gonna read to you what and this is just something that I do because I just want to know. I just want people to understand what a business is. You know, what is the meaning of a business? Okay. It says a person's regular occupation, profession, or trade. And then the other second meaning to it is my bad. Hold on one second. It says the practice of making a living by engaging in commerce. And so commerce is basically, I'm talking to Tez. I'm like, hey Tez, I got these notebooks over here that I can sell to you. Tez, it's supply and demand. Tez need a notebook. All right, cool. Guess what? I'm selling this to Tez, and guess what? Tez is paying me for it, and he gets a notebook. Same thing as well. If I'm an organization and I want to hold some type of gala, and I sell tickets to this gala for the opportunity for you to come in and potentially win some type of prizes or something like that. But you're donating to this business. That's a business, basically. That's commerce being sold. That's a good or service being sold. But according to this memo, this memo says that, and I'm gonna go back to it at the bottom. It says that, for example, an NIL, hold up, there it is. It says, for example, an NIL collective that has a business purpose to pay student athletes associated with a particular school or schools does not satisfy the rule 22.1.3 when it reaches a deal with the student athlete to make an appearance on behalf of the collective at an event if that event is open to the general public and the collective charges an admission fee. But commerce tells us, and a business tells us, that anything that you're selling for goods is considered commerce, and that's a business. So are they violating what the terms of a business is, or are we just looking at somebody that's trying to circumvent around collective, just trying to do that? But explain to me, let me know, because I have my thoughts. I want to.
I'll let Tez go, and then we'll.
They're defining what their interpretation of a business is. They're defining what a business is to them per this rule. That's why every time they mention it, they reference.
Shout out to Jermaine. What up, Jermaine?
NCAA 2.1 through, or whatever number it is. Because they're defining what type of business is valid to them that would go through this clearinghouse. And what they're saying is, it doesn't count if that business is in business of paying players. If it's an NIL collective and that collective is in business, that if that's their business model is to collect money by selling tickets or however they do it, or whatever means they collect money, donations, if its sole purpose is to pay students, then that is not a business that they're going to do business with.
Okay, let me ask you this question here then. All right, and I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. Heard what you just said. What their interpretation of a business is, right? Let's say, for instance, I don't know. Let's say Cam Coleman inks a deal with Nike, right?
Right.
Would that NIL deal be void? Because Nike's purpose, if you look at Nike's business model, Nike's purpose, yes, they sell apparel, but they also pay athletes as endorsers to that apparel. So you could argue that the sole purpose, you can argue that the sole purpose for Nike is to pay athletes to sell their products. So I'm just saying
that's okay. That is the definition of NIL.
Right.
What you just described from Nike, what their business model is the perfect business model for an NIL deal.
Right.
A business that is paying students to endorse them to sell products. That is what they want. What they don't want is, I'm just paying students to get them to come to this school.
But here's what I'm saying.
That's what NIL. That's what really the NIL has really been. They're under the guise of some type of business, but really their business model is, we're just paying players to come to offers.
I get what you're saying, but a lot of these collectives sell apparel as well.
So yeah, but that's not their main business.
What's the difference?
That's not their business.
That's not Mike. That's not Nike's main business.
Nike's main business is
no,
selling apparel.
No, it's not their main. I just did a case study on this. Nike's main business point is to find athletes and pay athletes to promote their products. They sell apparel is like their secondary thing. Their main thing is storytelling and doing endorsement with athletes.
Yeah, but they have a product though.
That's a business direction. That's like saying,
that's like me saying as well.
But that's like me saying that McDonald's is a real estate company,
because
they are.
Right.
But we all know that McDonald's sell burgers, and that's like I'm not.
Okay, so my thing is, so
the business model is to sell as many burgers as they can. It's not to
that
up under that is the you put us on the most expensive piece of real estate,
right?
On the block.
That's the way you do business and the
that's
marketing
smart
aspect. Yeah. So, but this is the thing. And let me say this first before we go too far. When I said Hugh Freed and those guys are vindicated, it's like they're vindicated based on them reading this legal jargon. It's not based on this. They didn't say, I believe it and it's fair. They're saying, these guys are saying in this model that the collectives are not real business. So we're going to proceed that way. You see what I'm saying? They never said they believe it, and I'm not saying I believe it's fair or whatever, but I will say this in addition. Tell me what the collective main product is. You see, you just said with Nike.
What is Nike's main product? What is Nike's main product?
Shoes and apparel.
Okay.
McDonald's, hold up. McDonald's main is food. They're selling food.
Okay.
Nike, they're selling apparel. Collectives, they're paying players.
They selling athletes.
It's like they don't have any product that's their main thing. You see what I'm saying?
They do.
Their
It's
whole
kids.
and think about it from the origin, their main setup from inception was to accumulate money to pay players. That was their mission.
I ask you this question you mentioned McDonald's and you mentioned Nike.
Yep.
Is that the perception that's being sold to you of what their perception is? Is that the perception of what it is? I'm just being honest with you.
Even if it's
because Ted just sat here and just told us, and if you knew this from the jump, McDonald's is a real estate company. Sure, that's what they are. Okay. But the perception is they sell hamburgers and French fries. Yeah, so okay, that's the perception. So the perception could be that a collective is paying players, but if you look at it, if they are doing events like golf tournaments, like they said here, if they're doing anything like galas and stuff like that, if they're selling apparel and shoes and things and stuff like that, that's still a business entity. And to your point, Travell, Nike is a shoe company, but I just did a case analysis on this, and the whole business model has changed over the past 20 years. I just did a case analysis on it. But go ahead.
So like they what we saying with McDonald's, at least what I mean by McDonald's is there's nowhere written on any piece of paper or anything that says that McDonald's is a real estate company.
Right.
The only reason we say that McDonald's is a real estate company is because their CEO was smart enough to acquire the most expensive piece of land on every piece of block that they're on. That's it. On paper, they're selling burgers and fries. They said when they go to the tax offices down there, all that, they selling burgers and fries. Right. They are not in the business of buying and flipping real estate. Right. They are doing it because they're buying the real estate and holding on to it. But they're not just buying McDonald's and putting them up and then flipping them and selling them and then buying another piece of property and flipping them. That's not like their primary business model.
But they are though. That is exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. But when you McDonald's Corporation does not own many of those franchises. Franchisees own it. Franchisees buy the rights to McDonald's and they own the store. They're the ones selling the hamburgers and the French fries. McDonald's owns the land. That's their job. Their job is to go find the land. And when they find the land, they find the land, they pay for the land, and then they have a franchisee come and rent the land from them. That's exactly what a real estate company is. Now, the franchisee, like Fraser Corporation, say, I want to go buy a McDonald's and name. Yeah, I'm going to go do that. And I'm going to sell hamburgers and hamburgers and French fries and apple pies and McFlurries and stuff. That's my business model as a franchisee.
So by that
corporation, my job is I'm buying the land underneath that. That's what
by that analogy, what retail business is not a real estate company then?
That's my point.
I just sat
here and said, and I was using McDonald's as an example. But what business is not a real estate company?
Okay,
this is what I'm saying. Let's use Chipotle for an example. If Chipotle decided to go and build a standalone store, is that store owned by Chipotle or is it owned by a franchisee? Is the name purchased by a franchisee?
Right.
Chipotle owns the land. So the guys they're selling food, but they're actually in the real estate business.
Okay, now let me tell you what you're doing.
Go ahead.
You right now you are putting in your application for an athletic director at a Power 5 school because you are doing their job for them right now. Because you're doing a great job of it. Because that's how the business model is set up now, though. That's what you're doing. They got rules in place. They put them out, and you have just found the greatest loophole to these rules already. And I don't have any answer to that. Like, how are they going to get around that? What you just described is what teams are going to do or try to present to the NIL Go in order to get around these rules.
But I will say this.
That's all I've been trying to get people to understand is that gray area part of where we are.
But at face value, it's not. This collectors aren't a business.
Okay.
And I mean, they are a business, but like not a business that sells goods and products. They a business that plays players.
Okay, let me ask you this, Nick. Just like you just explained McDonald's and Chipotle, now explain to me how that correlates with an NIL collective. Because when I go to McDonald's, even though we know McDonald's is they're in the business of burgers, but they're also in the business of accumulated real estate. We've all established that. We understand that. Now, when I go to McDonald's, though, website, they're showing me food. They're not saying buy some real estate. They're showing me food as a front for their buying real estate, quote unquote, if you want to put it that way. Okay. Now when I go to Chipotle, it's the same deal. When I go to their website, they're showing me food as a means to acquire real estate. Right now with the NIL collective, when I go to their website, they're saying pay players. They're not showing me anything as a means or a front to do this business of acquiring players. They're just saying pay players. When you go to the site, it says pay players.
It's the same thing.
So correlate those two things to me.
It's the same thing as BlackRock. BlackRock owns the majority of the companies in the world. BlackRock is three private equity firms that own a bunch of companies in the world. Actually, it's really what it is. It's just like me. Like I can't and I'm just giving an example. Let's just say I have a holding company, and McDonald's has a holding company. I can't remember the name of the holding company. But they have, I think it's actually called McDonald Realty Corporation. I believe I want to say that's what it is. It may be something different. But let's say I have a holding company, right? And that holding company is, I don't know, TGF Holdings. And under TGF Holdings, I have McDonald's. Or let's not use. I'm sorry, McDonald's. No, I don't have you. We don't want any lawsuits. But let's just say underneath that, I have something called Gettysburger or whatever. And just using something out the blue. TGF Holdings owns Gettysburger. So when you go to Gettysburger, yes, the front of the store is saying, yes, we are selling you burgers, whatever's on the menu. But the back part of the company is basically saying, yeah, we don't care about that. We own the building and the land and the real estate. That's the real business. We're not making any money off of that part. So what I'm saying is, yes, collectives, by terms of what collectives are doing and by the basic definition of what a business is, collectives are businesses. I mean, I'm just being real. By the term of it, they're businesses. It just seems as if certain people don't want. It seems as if that administrators in this landscape don't want to associate it with businesses, because if you do that, then now you have to add in the benefits of what you would have to do to pay players as employees, because they would technically be employees of that business. That's just how I see it, and that's just how I interpret it. But if you see it a different way, that's honestly perfectly fine. But I'm just looking at it just from that perspective, because businesses have guys. I mean, technically, it's money laundering 101, but legal.
Yeah, but are they? You said they NILs are businesses. That's true. Yeah. But are they businesses according to NCAA rules?
That's the part. I understand. I understand that part. I understand.
They're not saying. I think everybody's caught up on that. They're not saying that they're not businesses. They're saying that they're not businesses according to how we define business.
And that's exactly. And that's why I said that's how Auburn is moving. And my question, they're not. They're moving just according
based on what the definition of a business is. That's just what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I understand that whole. I just wanted to get the conversation, just get people to get thinking of how I saw it. But if you have a different approach to it, then tell me so I can and explain to me.
It's kind of like when your parents have dumb rules, but you gotta follow them. But you know
you in my house.
Dumb. Yeah, but you stay in their house, so you gotta like this is what this is. It's like, it's a business according to. It's not a business according to them. We know it's a business.
Right.
They got a tax identification number. They went down to the courthouse just like everybody else who owns a business did. But it's just not a business that NIL Go wants to deal with in terms of contracts with these players. And they've defined that in a rule that they keep referencing. Keep referencing this. and that's what. And listen, here's the thing about it. I think this is actually detrimental to a place like Auburn. Believe it or not, even though that I think that Hugh Freeze and I keep saying Hugh Freeze but I think it's more Cohen. I think that Cohen is operating under the correct understanding of these rules. And when you say is he vindicated, I think he gets a little bit of vindication. Hugh Freeze specifically gets a little bit of vindication because when this came out, everybody came up with all kind of reasons. Oh, he's golfing so much. He's making excuses. Oh, this and that. This is not going to do. Like Hugh Freeze, you got to win more games and all of this. And then what was so hypocritical about that is like all those coaches that came out and said that and stuff. None of y'all know what's going on.
Exactly.
Now that the rules are coming out, nobody knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
So like that's why I'm like Hugh Freeze may have been vindicated because don't nobody know how this works. People pretending like they school doing it right, but don't nobody know how this works. Nobody knows.
I'm gonna ask another question, bro. I'm asking another question. I gotta ask it, bro. Are they okay? They're saying that they don't know what's happening, but are they saying that as a way to justify what they're doing and to cause confusion across college football? Because when you look at the House settlement, it kind of almost if you're looking at it just on a black and white basis, it states what you can and can't do. It states that there's a $20.5 million cap. You can't go past that cap. NIL is a third party and it has to go through NIL Go. And NIL Go basically tells you that this is this has to be. I haven't read like the stipulations and stuff, but basically reading that what we just read today, it kind of gave us an indication. But then now what you're seeing is a lot of athletic departments trying to have in-house NIL structures that cause confusion, which I think people are having a difficult part of understanding because when you talk about third party, the third party is outside of the athletic department. The in-house athletic departments can actually have in-house NIL structures that actually, from what I'm understanding, can or cannot go against the cap if that happens. So and it gets confusing. But my back to the original question: do you think that people know what the rules are saying, but because you have a lot of high-priced attorneys that want to go through litigation and keep things locked up in litigation for a long period of time, and it causes knowing that it's going to take a while for things to go through court because the judicial process is very slow and it takes a while to get through it. That they just be like, all right, man, we're just gonna tie this up in litigation, just call it like confusion. We don't know what's going on. Like, do you really think that ADs says there are some ADs and some head coaches out here just saying things as talking points because they know what they're doing is wrong, or the perceived notion of what they're doing is wrong, and they just want to they just trying to get litigation just tied up. What's your thought?
I think they finding out that what they're doing is wrong in real time.
All right.
I think what they're doing is offering kids the way that they've always done it, ignoring this whole house settlement, and not even to the point of we gonna ignore this specifically, but I think like we just not even gonna pay it no attention. This is recruiting season. We need to talk to these kids. We need to offer them. That's how we recruit. I think that's happening. And then what's happening is a lot of these deals are coming back. Hey, it's no good. Deals are taking 2 and 3 weeks to get processed. Now they're having to have conversations with these kids. You know what I mean? And to their point, they probably not having these conversations because this is where the term just imaginary money, fake money comes in. We just playing with numbers right now. We just we just playing with numbers right now. After August 1st, then it has to be in writing, right? Now that money's not imaginary no more. And I just think that like that is when these teams that are finding out in real time are going to have to go back and have conversations with these kids.
Yeah,
I think that's the part that whole part about that is what John Cohen was trying to avoid. Like we don't want to have to go back I don't think it's about us doing the right thing or anything like that. I think they just gave this guy a date as a lawyer. August 1st, it's got to be in writing. And he said, I don't know what the hell this NIL stuff is going on. These rules, I can't understand it. But all I know is after August 1st, I can guarantee money to these kids. So I'm just going to wait to the end because I don't want to be put in a situation to where I tell somebody something and then I have to call them back after they done spent the money already, because you already know how we do when somebody tell us we're getting something. They spent the money already. I have to call them back and tell them this. And like, I don't even want to have to go through that. So I think that's what happened. I don't think it's so much about them trying to catch other schools doing anything wrong or them saying that everybody's doing it wrong. I think it's just specifically like, man, I don't understand this. But the one thing I do understand is after August 1st is I can just give them an offer guaranteed. It's not fictitious. And I know it's, I know it's going to stick. So I think that's what you see going on at Auburn specifically.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. That's why I say.
So basically, them getting those guys that committed. So you just think that those guys just accepted whatever offer Auburn offered them at that time, like a paid foul.
Yeah, I think so. I think they may have saying, okay, man, Auburn is being transparent, and I trust these guys, so I trust this process, so I think these guys are going to be right. So I think the players and they could have just wanted to go to Auburn too, but that's why I said when we talked, man, I was like, man, I'm with them proceeding with caution, and I'm with them just going through this whole fiscal year because it does end in July. So I'm okay with them going through this first fiscal year to see how things work, before you jump in the water, man. Because and we're gonna talk about this on Sunday, man, because a lot of schools could be in trouble, man. Really. And I'm gonna tell you how on Sunday.
If you're a parent of one of these kids, are you advising them to go with any of these deals right now? Well, I know, like, if you need the money, of course.
What's up, Sean?
This is hypothetical. Oh, what's up, Sean? Hypothetical situation where you don't need the money, but you got the kid finna sign. Are you advising him to take his time with this NIL thing, with everything being so confusing right now? Or are you saying, oh, they offered me a whole bunch of money, let's just go sign here?
Yeah, but if you think somebody who's not necessarily understanding what's going on, they probably, if I was a person that have no idea how NIL goes, College Sports Commission goes, then I'm probably like, man, Auburn offering you 100,000, they offering you 700,000, bro. What is it to think about? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think you might have a little both, though. You know what I mean? Some people proceeding with caution, and some people like, bro,
because I just think like people when money get involved, people just act sometimes. They don't really think about it.
Exactly.
Because it would be to me, it would be a huge red flag if Auburn University offered my son $100,000, and then I went to another school, and every other school was offering him 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, like more. Like that would, and then I got the people at Auburn telling me like, "Hey, we have a date when we want to offer this because it'll be concrete then." They're saying this, and then I go to these other schools and they just like 800,000, 700,000, 600,000. Like, to me, it's gonna be like, wait a minute now. They just told. I'm gonna say it in that meeting with those. Like, look, I was at another school. They told me that August 1st, whatever, this imaginary money until August 1st. I'm gonna tell them right then. And I would imagine some of these parents probably did that. Were in recruiting battles, had kids in recruiting battles with schools like Auburn. And I really wonder what like some of the other schools were saying.
Last thought before we get up out of here. I'm like I said, I asked the questions, man. I just asked the questions because I gotta know. What if? And it's a what if. I mean, because I agree with. Even though I ask these questions, I agree about 92% of what y'all saying. I agree with. The other 8%.
What's the other 8, Nick? What's the other 8?
We gotta have some conversation.
It's the McDonald's thing, right?
Yeah, we gotta
slide him some money on the table for the other 8%.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta have a conversation on the other 8. But about 92% of the stuff that y'all are saying, I agree with. I understand. But I asked the question though. Let's just say August 1 comes, August 15 comes, and you see a lot of kids basically saying, I'm staying committed to where I committed to? Are we saying at that time that the money was real, or are we just saying something different? What are we saying in at that time? Because if that's it, because if the money was fake, and a lot of guys are now in it for trying to get as much as they possibly can in college football now, that means we should definitely start seeing a lot of guys back off their commitments around, within that first 2-week period around August, in August. So if you don't see that, what are we saying then? Go DC.
I don't know if we're gonna see a mass like decommitment right when it happens like that. That's why I hate that it's just such a talking point of August 1st, because like everybody's just sitting around waiting to August 1st, like some magic is gonna happen. Like I don't think it works that way. Like there's some kids, like I use Alabama for example. They had like 4 kids commit and was like, this is my lifelong dream to play here. Right? If a kid says that, he probably will take a little bit less. And it's not like the other schools are going to be able to offer significantly much more than you. Which is interesting that Auburn's taking this approach. This is why I don't agree with Auburn's approach, because it's like, okay, let's say, for example, after August 1st, they're 100% right. And you have to go back and you have to tell these kids like, hey, we have to pull some of these offers back. It's not like Auburn is going to be able to then go in and offer them an astronomical amount. The offers are going to be around the same, but you already got the kid committed to a school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's probably already bought paraphernalia. He told his cousins where he going. They planning for games. They getting their tailgates together. Like, you know what I'm saying? That kid's probably still going to take whatever that school is because he's already comfortable. It's going to be hard to flip a kid. And if you flip a kid, you have to pay more money for him, which, could affect your revenue cap and all of that. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what the long game is for Auburn. And I won't know that until they come out and tell us what the consequences are. If you tell me that the consequences are, hey, next year you don't get that much cap space, right? So next year you only got $8,000 to work with in the cap if you went grossly over, right? Then all of a sudden, like, oh, okay, well, Auburn might have played it right. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the consequence. I think that's what everybody's waiting on is like the consequence. I said in the group chat, man, they need a SMU. They need somebody to just fall on the sword, man, strike some fear and like follow the rules or else. Like, you know what I mean? Because right now, there's like, if we don't follow the rules, what's going to happen? What you going to call the NCAA on us? Ooh.
What's up, Ed? What's up? What's your thoughts on that, DC, before we get up out of it?
I don't think it's going to be mass turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Now, you might have some turnovers that were, Auburn leans anyway, that I was an Auburn lean anyway, but the only reason I'm over here is because I thought they were offering me more money. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, y'all not offering me more money, so I'm gonna just go back to where I really want to go. So you might have a few. I don't think it's gonna be a mass turnover. Number 2, I think the game that Auburn is playing is they're playing a reputation game. So it's like if I'm an agent,
that's a good point.
I talked to Georgia, Alabama, and bro, y'all burnt me. Y'all said y'all was gonna give me this amount of money. Bro, Auburn over here told me. So I'm like, bro, I trust Auburn. In my circle of people that are my friends that are agents and coaches, you gonna get a reputation in the streets. Like, bro, yeah, they offer, these schools are offering you this. And I'm not saying Alabama and Georgia are mis-offering. I'm just using them as examples. But as an agent, I'll be like, man, I'm more cautious with dealing with these schools now, man, because they lie to you. You can't trust them. Auburn, bro, these cats are transparent. They through and through. You can trust these guys, man. So you're going to be more apt to fall, for a person who is transparent to you in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Versus someone who may have for whatever reason they offered this money. You'll be like, bro, they burnt us last time. Then you'll have kids talking to kids, bro. Deal with Auburn, bro. They're going to be honest with you. So going forward, your reputation is going to be affected with this decision.
All right. Okay. I like it, man. That's That's a good conversation right there, man. DC, tell them where they can find you at before we get up out of here, my guy.
You can find me at Auburn Addicts on all platforms at Auburn_Addicts, Auburn Addicts TV on YouTube, man. Catch us Sunday at 6:30, man. Me and Nick, man, we're gonna be talking about these schools, man, that are front loading these contracts, what that means, and are some schools in trouble, man. Y'all tune in Auburn Addicts 6:30 p.m. 6 p.m. on Sunday.
Yes, sir. That's what it is, man. Yeah, make sure y'all check us out, man. Put us in rotation. Ted, tell them where they can find you at, my guy.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at It's SEC Season. And you can find me on Twitter the same at It's SEC Season. Find me on Twitter at Codename Ted. And if you are on college football, my gamer tag is Codename Ted.
Yes,
so send me a link, request, and we can get after it.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
What is it again, Tez?
Codename Ted.
Codename Ted.
Okay, all right.
Codename Ted. That's it.
Send that thing out to you, man.
Make sure y'all go follow our guy Tight Sports Alabama Football Megacast on in these YouTube streets as well. Go follow our guy Dustin over at the Up Tempo Podcast. Got some stuff coming up with Dustin soon, man. Follow our guy B Sharp. You saw him in the chat tonight over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk as well, man. I got Vandy Chris over at the Golden Broom Podcast as well. Bubba and the old man Auburn Sports Talk. Make sure y'all go over there and follow them. And of course, man, make sure y'all go follow my guy at the Huggy Beard himself, the legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams, on YouTube. And make sure you go on Facebook and friend him at Huggy Beard on Facebook and at Bubba Hyde on Facebook as well. Both of them, Bubba Hyde and Huggy Beard, at both of them. And as also, man, before we get up out of here, man, make sure that you follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. On Instagram and YouTube, Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. On Twitter, follow us at CoolersPod23, and of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube, so you know when we post more videos and when we go live here around the Water Cooler, man. We're gonna get these last couple of comments in. The Huggy Beard said, great show, fella. Shout out to Huggy as well, man. Appreciate you, Huggy, man. Travell said DC on his Bo Jackson. That's what he said. That's what's up. That's what's up. Musty said, hit the like button. Yeah, do that for us, man. Hit the like button, man. Help us out in on the algorithm, man. Jermaine Mills said, Alabama, let it be known they'll never be they'll never be the highest bidder. Each position has a budget. That's
man. That's good stuff right there.
That's good stuff. Laugh out loud. I know. I'm just talking. Get musty there, man. Shout out to the Clips. What's up, man? What's up? College football dynasty about to start. Oh, that's right. Y'all got the league going on. Is Marcus in that league? I think he is. As well as that. No live till I see how next Friday goes. All right. Well, but still, make sure y'all go over there and follow Huggy on YouTube and friend him on Facebook as well, man. All right. Before we get up out of here, man, we'll be back Monday. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. That'll be we gonna review the first day of SEC Media Days on Monday. Auburn will be there Tuesday, so we won't have a show Tuesday. We'll be back Wednesday. Well, you know what? We may do a show. We may do a show Tuesday. Since Auburn is scheduled to be there. Wait, what? If it goes left, Huggy, what's wrong? You all right? You good, Huggy?
Everything good, man?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Let me know. Make sure everything's good. I don't know, Huggy. Let me know what's up with that. Now, hold up. I don't like the way they sounded, but Auburn is slated to go Tuesday. At SEC Media Day, so we probably will go live Tuesday just to recap, because that's going to be a really big day. I think that's
Georgia, the most entertaining day.
Yeah, that's it. It's Auburn, Georgia, Texas, and I think Texas A&M. Tennessee. That's what it is. Josh Heupel. That's it. It is what it is. So, yeah, we're gonna see what's we probably gonna go live Tuesday, because that's gonna be a big day. He said it's his problem. He said, man, yeah, man, it's all right, Huggy, man. Let us know, man. Hope everything good with you, my guy.
For sure, man.
But yeah, man, we'll be back Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, back around the Water Cooler, man. Until then, man, y'all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure y'all get the man upstairs above his because he deserves all the praise and glory. As always, man. And until Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Back around the water cooler. It is one love, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what? We out this mug. I holla. Hey.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Water Cooler Talks with your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode.